Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Nerds at Large reaction to the Nintendo Direct, February 17, 2021. I am one of the Nerds at Large, Jeff Mayo, and that is Darby Hallman, doing some listening and shit.
And I am Darby Hallman. How's everybody doing? Forgot they can also hear that we were echoing for a second, but
Fun.
it's all good. You hit double the Jeff and Darby. That's all you need.
Yep.
Jeff, where's that hype level at? First direct in a year and a freaking half.
Maximum, of course. Let's go, baby.
Oh boy, it's been an absurd amount of time.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. So what would, like, you said like the last one was like Xenoblade and shit.
Yeah, I think the last announcement of the last Direct was Xenoblade Definitive Edition.
That's wild.
Yep, and that thing came out almost a year ago.
Yeah, that we're about to come out a year of it coming out, and that was the announcement of it. It's been a long time. Nintendo has taken quite a long hiatus. I mean, they've obviously released things in that time, but
and had little presentations.
But I wouldn't even say it's one of those things that, like, they've had enough stuff, they just didn't do a Direct. It's like, at one time, I don't know if they've ever had enough at one time. Like, you know, spread out across, like, the entire time since that last Direct, there's been things. Yeah. But I don't really think they've had enough to have, like, what we would constitute a full Direct.
They could have had a decent, like, I get the way I guess I would tier the kind of Direct type things are the bottom, like the partner showcase, then mini Directs, and then obviously regular Directs is a good bit ahead of that. But yeah, I mean, some of those partner Directs, they could have combined them and made a pretty decent, at least I guess, mini Direct or something. Because we got some decent stuff out of them.
Well, we've gotten mini Directs, right?
Yeah. Well, partner Directs is what we ended up, or partner showcase, or whatever the hell I want to call them, is what we got at the end of last year. We got like a mini Direct or two.
Too many types of things.
Yeah, I don't know if, probably didn't exactly get like a mini Direct last March-ish or something, maybe? I don't know.
Well, what are you expecting from this one, Jeffrey?
Obviously, Smash character. Zelda's anniversary is apparently literally in 4 days, so I'm expecting something Zelda related. How much? We'll see. Trying to think.
I mean, do you think they could? I mean, you don't think we're, well, I don't know. Do you think we're already at the point where they could have like their stupid version of the Mario 3D All-Stars with Zelda?
They could. I just don't. Part of me just wonder if they do that before the Mario one ends. Still a month for that.
We get to see we have to let Mario's Judgment Day come before we then get to see whatever is the day that Zelda dies.
Wait for Mario to be executed first.
Yeah. But they pull him out on public stage and put a bullet in his head.
Yep.
Yeah. I agree with a lot of those things. I didn't hear some of it, but I agreed. Smash character. I'm going to, like, my predictions are very boring because they're the same predictions that we've been making forever and ever and ever. I'm predicting Crash for Smash, and I'm predicting Metroid Prime Trilogy. It's just like, especially Metroid Prime Trilogy is a thing that, like, by all accounts exists. So I think it could come out at any time. I mean, it could come out. Yeah. It could be a shadow drop today. It could still not come out until like fall next year. I don't know, or it could not come out at all. Like, any of those things are possibilities.
Yeah. I'm trying to think just stuff I think could happen. Age of Calamity DLC I think is a given. I'd be kind of surprised if we didn't get that here.
Yeah.
Norway Heroes still I mentioned to you before we started recording, I think is pretty likely. Let's see.
Yeah.
Probably going to get some Bravely Default 2, Monster Hunter Rise. We're supposed to get another Monster Hunter Rise demo, so probably get a little trailer from that and, demo information.
Yeah, I think that's the boring shit, though.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I think people are going to end up being disappointed in this Direct because naturally because they always forget about the boring shit. Like, that's always there, but they always tend to forget at the minute like a day after the Direct ends.
I think most of the reasonable people will be happy as long as they're like there needs to be like just the Smash character is obviously not enough because for that to be the big thing because we've had that too many times.
I say we need a bunch of decent little stuff throughout here, of course, and then like one or two big like Nintendo things, and I consider or new things. I consider Breath of the Wild 2 trailer as part of that.
You just at least need to like see Breath of the Wild 2 or have like a new Mario announcement, even if it's not, or
a new IP or
one of those
crazy.
things.
Something.
Like, you need at least one of those.
And this is the thing. There's at least going to be one or two new like Nintendo game announcements. There always are during these general directs, and they're not going to come out of this hiatus with directs with nothing at all. If so, we take them to the stake.
I'm also wondering if there's going to be some substantial Animal Crossing update.
There's supposed to be a March update. I imagine we might get some information about that here.
Yeah. I mean, it might just be like an event coming in March. Get excited.
It's supposed to be Mario-related stuff, so I think this would be a good place to show that off.
Give me some like warp pipes I can warp around, do good in some other world, do some shit. That'd be cool.
We were a minute away.
We are. Hopefully the audio mix is going to be good. It's always kind of a hassle, so I usually end up missing the first big announcement. It's
going to be Tifa in Smash.
Oh, shit. I really be
immediately breaking the Miifi.
All right, well, this is ridiculous, but okay.
Rated M.
No, we can't have mature rated games on Nintendo.
Yep.
Can you hear?
Yep.
Gosh darn it.
Smash.
Who?
Probably. Xenoblade 2! Yeah, we're getting Rex!
Alright, cool.
Fuck yeah.
One day, Pyra just disappeared.
Wait. She disappeared to Smash. Wait, or is Pyra just gonna be playable?
Sounds like Pyra. Maybe both.
Couldn't find her anywhere.
People are pissed, but
It was as if she vanished. Off the
Nah,
face
right
of
for
the
that.
West.
I wish that he would have just been in the base roster, but
yeah.
A trace. Where have you gone? I'll find you. Whatever.
More Xenoblade music.
I was about to say this music's nice.
I love this song.
I love the Xenoblade soundtrack, even though I've never even played.
This is where you were. Pyra!
Yep.
Sorry, Rex.
Just Pyra or
Couldn't
both?
tell you. Because I got an invitation to join Smash.
I guess just Pyra. Hell yeah.
You know what? Okay.
Girl power, let's go.
Oh, and they covered her up. Okay, that's fine.
I thought I was gonna be in
Sit back and leave it to me.
Said I thought I was going to be in Smash.
Hold the power of the East. Smash Flare.
You powered up your smash attack with fire?
Flame Nova. Prominence Revolt. Blazing End.
That's genius! You're pretty much owning them, and these are seasoned fighters!
It's Lucina again. Or like Lucina Crom again.
Talk about a tight spot. Mithra? Let me handle this.
Okay, yeah, I'm curious how they're going to deal with them. But
Mithra!
Cutting it close, huh? Oh, hey, were these guys planning on winning? Gee, I feel kind of bad now. Coming through! Lightning Buster!
so it's looking like they might have different movesets.
Punishment! Chromata! Foresight! Whoa!
You can even use that.
Pyra, right here.
You two can swap.
Alright, so is it okay, it's a
It's a Pokemon
switching. It's a
trainer.
switching between them.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was just a skin. But
Together, nothing can stand in our way.
Quite the spectacle, aren't they?
Gramps.
Wait, Gramps?
Everyone but Rex.
yeah, get him out of here. We have enough. We have enough of the male sword protagonist.
And there's some more.
That's a small stage.
That's so small.
I'll lend you a hand.
There he is.
Arrow! Burning sword!
Nailed it.
Okay.
Sure did. With our power. Shulk?
I never expected to see you two again. Well, now that you're in Smash, I won't go easy on you.
Ooh, fighting words. You forget. We're fighters too!
Fuck yeah.
Hello, everyone. It's been a while. I'm Shinya Takahashi.
Well, congrats, Jeffrey. Happy for you.
Last year, we delivered.
I'm ready to see the
a
salt.
series of presentations.
We've gotten so many freaking amazing characters. I mean, it's not that
We
big. a
haven't
deal.
been able to present a Nintendo Direct in this style.
But there will be salt. There will be salt for sure.
Yeah. Well, I will
To
say
share this Nintendo Direct with you all today.
we'll go into it. I'm glad it's Pyra and Pyra and Mythra and not Rex. Like it's just. Those
I
two.
mean, knowing nothing about this, I am too, just because she looks more visually interesting. Rex looks like the most forgettable design of a character I've ever seen in my life.
Okay. What you just saw was the reveal trailer for the newest fighter in the
I
Super
mean,
Smash Brothers.
I mean, like a lot of people. I mean, people should not get too. I mean, at least it's not like a Byleth situation where it's a freaking
Please look forward to seeing their
series
moveset
that
in
has
Super Smash
freaking
Brothers.
7 reps.
This fighter releases in March, so we hope you'll stay tuned just a bit longer. All
Makes
right,
sense.
let's continue with our first batch of Nintendo Switch headlines.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Not surprising. If, as long as they were able to do it, it makes sense to do it.
Yeah. I'm curious how this runs on Switch Online.
Stumble toward greatness when Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout comes to the Nintendo
Well, let's
Switch
switch online, so
Summer
probably poorly.
2021. You have 22 minutes before
Okay,
the solar
okay.
system is destroyed.
Yeah. Again, that's another one that
Venture
just
into
should be on the
vast
Switch.
reaches of space to uncover the secrets left behind by an ancient civilization. You have 22 minutes.
Makes
After that,
sense.
the sun will explode and the solar system will be annihilated. However, everything will
Is this one of the games that you
allowing
impulse
to
bought
explore
like 2 years ago and didn't play?
information
I
you
did
have.
not because it was on Game Pass.
Gotcha.
I don't know if it's still on Game Pass, but
I think it
Repeating
is.
These cycles, you'll
think I've
gradually
seen it,
unravel the mysteries hidden.
yeah, I don't
within
think. I think I would have potentially, if it announced it was leaving, be like, okay, let me try to get on this real quick.
messages
Yeah.
will you discover.
This is a game like I don't know if I would like it or not. Like I've heard a lot of people, like half the critics I heard like don't like it, and the other half do. And I mean, it's not like I'm sure it's a great game. It's just like would it vibe with me? I'm not sure.
Nintendo Switch Summer 2021. Put your sleuthing skills to the test in 2 classic murder mystery games.
Go on.
Famicom Detective Club: The Missing Heir.
Getting dangerously close to the upskirt.
Stands behind 2 deep cuts from Nintendo history.
Famicom
North
Detective
America for the
Club.
first
Interesting.
time.
Are these like super old games?
Localized in English and modernized for the Nintendo Switch system.
Yeah, I guess so.
Suspense,
Modernized.
drama, and twists and turns await at every
That's
corner.
funny.
You'll be on the edge of your seat as you dive into these deep narratives set in Japan.
I don't know how well these are received, but they're probably something I'd enjoy
surrounding a
there.
wealthy family in
Yeah.
a haunted village while dealing with amnesia.
Yeah.
But that's
Visual
not the
novels can be
only
really
case
cool.
to crack.
I just played all of 13 Sentinels, and I kind of wish that it was only a visual novel.
In the other game, you'll investigate a supernatural rumor after a mysterious death to free students from a sinister nightmare.
It's kind of a
Interrogate
weird in
suspects
between
and
of like the
clues
static
to get these chilling conundrums.
visual novel, but they're like kind of moving.
Can you figure out who the culprit is before it's too late?
I don't know if freaking Doki Doki Literature Club just scarred me, but I'm always just waiting for something really fucked up to happen when I see
Uncover
visual
the
novels now.
deadly truth in Famicom Detective Club: The Missing Heir and Famicom Detective Club: The Girl Who Stands Behind. Coming to Nintendo Switch May 14th. Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop. A new age of battles begins.
Age of battles. Put your old battles in the toilet where they belong. It's time for a new age.
Welcome to the new age.
The new age. Muso. Looks very Muso.
Like,
We'll
just call it like Samurai Warriors, I
Is this a
think.
Dynasty Warrior or a knockoff of a Dynasty Warrior? Samurai Warriors. That's like Dynasty Warriors knockoff or spin-off.
The latest
Might be
entry in the
spin-off. Yeah,
Samurai
spin-off.
Warriors
It's Koei
franchise is
Tecmo.
coming to Nintendo Switch.
So wait, they have a separate Muso franchise that has gotten to its 5th game outside of Dynasty Warriors
Hide Akechi.
Yes.
called Samurai Warriors.
I mean, yeah.
That has 5 of its own games.
I mean, of course.
Unleash
Yeah.
high-octane moves in
Good too though. I wonder
electrifying versus
how many
1000
games do they
battles
release like per year? Because it seems.
in Samurai Warriors 5, slashing its way onto Nintendo Switch summer 2021.
Or per console generation, it seems like you get like a good 12
The
Muso
vast
games.
world of Fadiel beckons.
It's one of the mana games.
After 20 long years, Legend of Mana featuring remastered HD
The
graphics
OG.
is coming to Nintendo Switch.
Wasn't there a whole like collection that they released?
You'll set
of
off on a
mana
journey
games?
to find the
That
mystical
like Trials of
mana
Mana or
seen in
whatever.
a
It was like
dream.
a whole collection of games, I think. Was this not part of them?
Discovering the world
I
map.
have no idea. I can't keep these mana games apart.
Fair.
Place them on the map to bring towns,
I just assumed with the
dungeons,
collection
other
that the
lands to
original
life.
one would probably be in it.
It's up to you on when
I like
and
the
where
art
to
style.
place artifacts,
Oh, yeah.
as well as
pretty
how
good.
to advance the story.
I wonder how new is this art style? Yeah.
I think it's just like there's a
Forces with
remaster,
characters,
so
each on their own
nothing.
personal quests. Square off against fearsome monsters.
Looks
Take a
cute.
break from adventure and rest up at home.
I know some people like this. I did see some screenshots of some dialogue in one of those mana games. It was pretty freaking terrible. It was like everyone. It was like a lady that's like, "Hi, I'm
The
Schwawit."
new minigame Ring Ring Land.
That's the real game right there.
Launch on Nintendo Switch June 24th.
That's the real shit. Game within the game. Monster Hunter. Monster.
I don't know, Darby.
Yeah, I'm not
This is
convinced. Capcom, I don't know. Well, like every other shot, it does just look like it's World.
Creepy spider bends out. You can't play this game now.
Yeah, no, I hate it for him. I was really excited, but Bolvedon.
I like how compared to World, you just kind of like more of a mythical creature type feel.
It's cool, yeah. World definitely had more of a dinosaur, prehistoric feel.
Mud monsters.
That was definitely a weird mechanical noise there. Is it a robot? Oh, that's cool. Towns and running on buildings.
Elder, I have important news.
So it's finally beginning.
Go assemble the villagers.
Hugh Jackman? Is that Wolverine?
Yep.
Kamura village was attacked by the rampage and Magnum Malo. And we suffered some devastating casualties.
How can we fight against that?
Our hunter is about to face the biggest challenge yet. No!
That's a big boy.
Can't lose this gauge! Pull yourselves together!
You're not getting it!
Let's go, everyone!
Is that a yo-yo?
It did look like
I want a giant yo-yo on a stick.
I do like the piloting monsters.
Watch out for the apex! Do not let it pass!
Apexosaurus.
The rampage. How long do you think it's going to last?
Forever.
1,000 years.
Until the hero of legend can save us, Link comes out.
Hinoa, we should start preparations right away. We're here to offer assistance. We must stop the calamity!
See, Calamity. It is.
Yep.
Ganon. Ganon's the final boss.
Fuck yeah.
Get some stickers on your shit. Space Girl looks like.
That was the latest trailer for Monster Hunter Rise from Capcom. How will our heroes fare against these ferocious monsters?
They're all
Stay
gonna
tuned for
die.
The latest installment in the Monster Hunter series, launching March 26th. Next, please take a look at this.
I do what I want.
Don't look.
Hey, there it is.
The fairway is open once
Well,
again.
Greg Miller said he was going to lose his mind if it got
The
announced. So,
latest installment of the Mario
so someone
Golf
check on Greg.
series
He might be
coming
dead.
to Nintendo Switch.
Super Rush.
Study
Super
the wind and terrain.
Look at those
Take your time
khakis
to think
on
things
that
through.
boy.
Then swing.
Yeah, but where's my super move?
I want him to go Super
Enjoy
Saiyan.
golfing with familiar Mushroom Kingdom characters on courses
course.
filled with
Water.
lush, natural scenery.
There was Rosalina.
Yeah. Shitless Bay.
Use
Where's
features like
Pauline?
greens,
Where's
like a shot
Pauline?
gauge
That was a good
to see how
question.
your shot will curve due to slopes. And a scan that lets you examine a course's terrain.
This looks like it's playing it too straight. I need some wacky Mario antics.
In addition to button controls, you can also use
Oh,
motion
fuck yeah.
controls by
You knew it
holding
was
a
coming.
Joy-Con controller like a golf
Can't tell
club.
me you didn't know it was coming.
Gently
Yeah.
swing the controller to have your character swing in the game, letting you easily enjoy the sensation of golfing.
The sensation of golf.
Oh,
On
fuck.
top of all that,
Oh.
there are several
Open
modes with
world,
new
they-
elements that truly bring the heat to
Oh,
Mario.
fuck yeah. Oh, yeah. Here we
shit!
go.
Race it, dude. That's the shit that we want.
Always your turn. Everyone then
Okay, here we go.
We're
give it
getting
another
it
whack
now.
to get it closer to the hole, then keep going. Outpace
Oh my
opponents,
God.
come out on top. Your golfing skills aren't the
You're gonna
only
throw a
reason
blue
why.
shell.
Okay, here we go.
Dashes
Throw a
and
fucking
special
blue
shots
shell to stop
beat
him.
The competition. Oh, did we mention
Towns.
story mode?
There's towns.
As a
Oh,
Mii
fuck.
character, you'll start out as a rookie and develop your golfing skills while interacting with various Mushroom Kingdom characters. Level up with experience points earned during matches. Then allocate points to different stats, allowing you to develop your
They're
character.
kind of definitely
however
they're like blending
you
some
can also
everybody's
use your
golf.
Mii in versus play. Put your golfing skills to the
June
test
25th.
when Mario
Makes
Golf.
sense.
It's not as like flashy looking. Like visually, I don't think it looks as good as some of the other recent Mario games. Or would you agree? Like even tennis, I think like just visually pops more. Like
Yeah.
that looked. I mean, the game looks like it's fun. I'm just saying visually, it looks lower budget. It looks like a little more bland.
I think it's kind of more like a straightforward golf thing, you
Yeah.
know?
But I
less
mean,
of
even
the-
tennis, it's like tennis. Sometimes when they go into the arena, like the lights and everything, I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, this looks good. It's like this looks like kind of an old game to me. I mean, it still looks fun. I'm just saying, it looks like less money was put into this one.
Check out these games coming to Nintendo Switch.
You're getting a montage already?
Return to the unforgiving world of Pandora in Tales from the Borderlands.
It wasn't already.
The
I just
Hyperion
assumed all
Rugby Race.
Telltale games were probably
Quick-witted
on it.
con artist Fiona as you set out to recover a mountain of cash. Set between Borderlands 2 and 3.
Get ready for the Kevin Hart Jack Black Classic that's about to happen by playing.
Yep.
Gangsters, bandit lords, and vault hunters are just a handful of the obstacles you'll encounter in this choice-driven narrative adventure. Embark on a wild ride when Tales from the Borderlands launches on Nintendo Switch, March 24th. 32 of Capcom's most beloved arcade classics are coming to
Shut
Nintendo
up.
Switch. Rewind gameplay, adjust game speed or difficulty, and select from a variety of display options to relive that sweet arcade goodness. Get 1943 The Battle of Midway for free, then purchase game packs or the standalone Ghosts and Goblins add-on to build your collection. Local co-op
I gotta
play is
buy
also
them.
available.
How many times can Street Fighter 2 be
Capcom
re-released?
Arcade Stadium launches later today. Brains. As a zombie,
Stub the
you just can't
zombie.
get enough of 'em. In this action game from Aspire, you'll build your zombie horde
Finally.
to take
It's
revenge
about
on the city
time.
by turning humans into your undead allies. Replenish your bodily arsenal of sputum head, gut grenades, and more during your grisly mission. This city ain't no match for a dead man. Stubbs the Zombie in Rebel Without a Pulse eats its way onto Nintendo Switch March 16th.
Never in my life have heard of this.
Nintendo eShop.
The zombie, the main guy looks familiar to me. That's all I can say about that.
It's
Hey.
Touchdown versus Assassins. Wait, aliens?
He looks way buffer than I thought he was.
Yeah.
Aliens have invaded Earth. Hold up, is this even the right game? Anyway, after annihilating an entire city, the aliens have taken over and now host an intergalactic superhero ranking tournament to decide Earth's fate. Here we go. As the crass, beam katana wielding assassin Travis Touchdown, you'll need to fight your way to the top to save the world. Hey, not so fast. To enter each boss fight, you'll have to do some odd jobs around town.
Classic.
Here we
Double
go.
Heroes.
Then face
Here we
off
go.
against a slew of unusual opponents. Most of them aliens with some crazy tricks up their sleeves.
Oh fuck.
Oh my god,
yes!
it's the fucking Final Fantasy 7 thing.
With a new and improved death glove, you'll have access to a variety of deadly
cool.
skills that can be customized and upgraded before each match. The fate of the world is at stake, so get ready to kick some, whatever aliens have that you can kick. Anyway, it'll all make sense.
I feel
No
like
More Heroes 3
no
lands
5 minutes of this game is ever.
Nintendo Switch,
far.
August 27th.
I mean, we didn't have a date for it, did we?
No, by saying it here, I thought it'd be at least a little sooner. It's all the way in August.
Heaven.
Yeah.
And a permit.
As above, so below. Why do they need assassins in heaven? To do someone's dirty work.
I feel like no 5 minutes of No More Heroes is going to be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, in a good way. It's a very
Yeah.
good compliment.
At least we got that date.
Yeah.
It's kill or be killed. You won't last long.
Trailers have kept being cool, really good for No More Heroes.
God's
Be the best, like no one ever was.
And I recognize this voice actor. Okay.
I feel like I like the splash art more than I like the gameplay I saw.
Uncover Heaven's mysteries in neon white, coming to Nintendo Switch winter
But I thought it was
2021.
supposed to be first half only games.
Yeah, Nintendo liars.
Superhero girls
Fuck
are
yeah.
here to save the day.
People are loving this, Jeff.
AKA Batgirl. I'm always inventing new gadgets to fight crime, like my batarangs and backup.
I'm just saying. Like, I feel like over half the games we've seen look like PS2 games.
And let's not forget Wonder Woman, an Amazonian warrior who wields the lasso of truth. Along with our friends Green Lantern, Bumblebee, and Zatanna, we fight evil supervillains to keep our city safe. But we're not just about the super life. We also have our school lives, and trust me, there's never a dull moment at Metropolis High School. Sometimes it'd be nice to get out
Why
of
is
class
Batgirl
and
Metropolis?
downtown with my besties. Ooh.
Yeah, it's not canon. Hey, excuse me, miss. That's not canon.
Hey, I got a comment already. Nice.
Ooh boy.
I don't know if this is one we need a more
Prime time
Detailed
spot.
Yep.
Spot and Nintendo Direct.
See, this could have gone to No More Heroes.
Yeah, you can just keep playing it. You just keep show me another level or two.
Just gotta make sure no one figures out our secret identities.
DC Superhero Girls Teen Power heroically
That's for
soars
someone.
onto Nintendo Switch
It's for someone.
June 4th.
I guarantee you, no one who's actually tuning in to watch a Nintendo Direct,
Ready
but
the juice
it's for
cannons
someone.
and prepare for battle.
Gotta say, pretty rough so far, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
We have to be pretty far into this, right? We're halfway at least.
Yeah,
Over
we're about
halfway. Yeah. They made so many of these games. Or maybe they made 2 of them and ported them over and over again. I wouldn't know.
Yeah. I mean, do we even know this is a different one then?
I know. I have 0 clue. Complete edition, so no.
Yeah.
Who will join you in your adventure?
This Mitomo or whatever the fuck it is.
Band together on a quest to face evil and save faces. Miitopia is coming to Nintendo Switch.
Jeff, I haven't seen anything that couldn't be run on the PS3 at least. Aside from maybe Monster Hunter Rise.
Make someone the nefarious Dark Lord. Makeup has been added as a new feature in this game. Glam up your Miis and get them ready for adventure. There's also a new wig feature, letting you go wild with your new creations and make them even more fabulous.
Oh boy.
God damn. That last guy, what the fuck?
Relationships are key. So consider spending some quality
All the other
time
people
with
that are going to be
allies
playing this
strengthen
game.
bonds. This can give you an advantage during battle. If your relationship's sour, though, things might take a turn for the worse. Whoa! You can have a horse as an ally? That sounds pretty darn good.
It's
Care for
just
it, and it'll lend a hand or poof in
It's just kind of a bummer that like the indie directs that we've had recently are like substantially look substantially more impressive. Like the actual games themselves look more impressive than the actual Nintendo Direct.
Items are coming to your island.
Finally.
Super Mario Brothers 35th anniversary themed items are coming to the Animal Crossing.
It's
New
just gonna
Horizons.
be some items. I mean, it is cool though. I mean, I'll be happy to
Familiar
wear
items
my
like
Mario.
the Super Mushroom and the
Okay,
question
there's
block
coins,
can be
coins and
ordered
shit.
in-game as furniture
Blocks.
items. So place them however and wherever you'd like.
It's a lot of stuff.
That's cool. Yeah.
There are people that have
You can also
suddenly like, oh no, I gotta change up my whole thing.
I will definitely be partaking.
Oh, can you? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. This is what I wanted.
Then use them to travel
Cool.
between locations
Nice.
on your island.
People are gonna use that.
Nice. Yeah, I'll be happy
Try
about it.
recreating the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this.
A free update
It's
for
pretty
the game
simple, but I'm
launches
excited.
February 25th.
Okay.
That's soon.
After
Hey.
downloading it, Super Mario Brothers items will be available via Nook Shopping.
You gotta
starting
pay
March
up.
1st.
You don't think they're crazy expensive?
Keep an
maybe?
eye
I
out.
don't
No,
know.
it didn't. No, it don't look like
Twitter
that.
account
It's
for
not
the
bad.
latest information.
Been a while since I've seen
Nah.
Bell's currency.
Yeah,
How much cool.
that's
It
nothing.
didn't look like much.
It did. It's not.
We hope you continue.
Hell yeah,
enjoying
I'll
life
definitely-
on your island.
Be excited about that.
How was that? These collaboration items will be released as part of the Super Mario Brothers 35th anniversary event.
So all your items will go away on March 31st.
Speaking of which, last week we had the global launch for the Super Mario.
Where you going with this, you cowards?
Bowser's Fury game.
It's really good, right? Anyway,
Hope
bye.
you enjoyed that Mario adventure as well. Next, we have another game to show you.
Is that Link? No. Thought it was an anime Link at first.
Bravely Default?
Yeah, I think it is. I think I recognize that piano stinger.
There's the 4 people. Latest in the HD.
Leaves us no recourse.
It's Octopath Traveler 2.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
Frost will answer answer for its crimes.
Or maybe it's just it might not be Octopath Traveler. It might just be the same company, new franchise.
You and no other.
Well, I fucking, I love a lot of Octopath Traveler. It just got ridiculous with the grindiness.
Yeah.
So I will not insta.
Wait, is this a strategy game?
Yeah, it definitely looks more.
Okay.
It looks more positional strategy.
Yeah.
To see us through this safely.
I refuse to insta buy this because of
Project Triangle strategy.
Okay. Definitely interested.
Far away lies the continent of Norzilia, comprised of 3 nations and limited deposits of salt and iron. The constant
And lots of salt and iron.
Just like
Salt
everyone
is word of the
watching
day.
this. Yep.
erupted into a great conflict known as the Salt Iron War. Though the hostilities ceased with an uneasy truce, decades later the flames of war threatened to engulf
It's
the realm
Octopath Traveler, but more political and shit.
caught in a tangled, fiery web of plots and
I mean, at the very least, I'm glad. Keep doing that art style. That art style was like phenomenal.
that would orchestrate their downfall.
Our benefit, you say?
In this new tactical RPG, battles take place on terrain with different elevations. A character's attack range is determined by their location.
Okay, so
Is
it's like
this our Final Fantasy Tactics sequel?
Basically, it's like Octopath Traveler across Final Fantasy Tactics.
Such as
I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks fine.
Thus, your forces can use the terrain and other elements to gain.
Well, maybe, I mean, this looks like it's more of a just like straight up linear story thing, probably. So maybe there'll be less grindy.
Yeah, I think that's something we can get into like when we actually do the discussion. But I feel like the problems that people have with Octopath, this could
send them flying into position for a
just having this style of gameplay could fix those just by.
It looks less open world, which that was the thing in Octopath Travelers. It's like you can take in any order you want, so it's like you got to be this level before you can go there. So go fight a bunch of random grunts. There might not be fighting random grunts in this game. It might just
it'll probably be like Fire Emblem type stuff where there's just random side battle mission type.
I'm still gonna want to see what people say, but. I mean, I played Octopath Traveler for like 55 hours and loved it. A lot of it.
Important decisions in a variety of situations. Utility, morality, liberty. Collectively, your decisions will establish your conviction, affecting how the story unfolds and who will join your cause.
Okay. So it's definitely a Fire Emblem, Final Fantasy Tactics type thing mixed with Octopath.
Relinquish Prince Roland to Estrost.
Critical decisions that may determine the fates of nations.
I feel like potentially
on the scales of conviction.
This could easily just be, a Fire Emblem for more interesting like story, for sure.
Yeah.
And I love the Fire Emblem games, but depending who you're asking, this could just have stronger gameplay in general anyway. From strategy fans.
I think it could, yeah. I mean, but sometimes a lot of strategy games are like brutally hard, and that's what I kind of like of it. I don't know. Fire Emblem strikes a balance nowadays, but they've gone way too easy. Fire Emblem is like pitifully easy at this point.
This is
to the point where I didn't enjoy
that
it.
middle ground that you won't.
Now, I will say, Octopath Traveler was fun. They need to change this thing. They went with
2022.
They had Project Octopath Traveler and then ended up just keeping that as the title. I don't think they should do that this time. I think Triangle. Alright, cool.
Let's go.
Triangle Strategy is a bad name, but yeah, we'll try that demo.
And in the future, we'll conduct a survey to gather.
Well, I know I'm doing tonight.
We look forward to hearing your
Yeah, it looks cool.
on the demo.
At least might as well play it.
Fucking pour this fucking Final Fantasy Tactics. But that does look very Final Fantasy Tactics, which is cool.
At least you'll be able to try it out and kind of get a sense of it immediately.
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch headlines.
Cautiously optimistic.
Calling all hunters. Do you have what it takes?
Star Wars. I saw a story.
Oh, okay. That like graffiti didn't look very Star Wars. But what's this gonna be? It looks like some multiplayer thing, probably. Is it like fucking Ultimate Alliance for Star Wars?
Star Wars Hunters.
That's it.
Is that an old game I just don't know about?
Star Wars Hunters is a competitive, free-to-play online game set between episodes 6 and 7. Clash in this third-person shooter coming to Nintendo Switch in 2021.
Prize not set between 3 and 4 like everything else.
Do I look at you or the camera?
Knockout City interviews, take 1.
We all play for different reasons. Korgan loves battle. Korgan knows many weapons. Triple-bladed war axe.
So is this not supposed to be World of Warcraft characters and just completely aping them?
Is supposed to lead her people, not be stuck up in some tower waiting for a hero.
In my line of work, bullets are constantly whizzing past you. Flaming longsword, blade of doom. Just once. Just once.
I want to say for the Project Triangle strategy, I love it's continuing the trend that the Square games, like old school RPG things, seem to be announced during these Nintendo Directs, where it immediately announced, "Hey, here's a demo right after the presentation." I love that.
Yeah,
and I really want to play this because this could be great.
I just really, I don't know. I just have such complicated feelings. I mean, like, I talk about Octopath Traveler like I hated it, but I really did love most of it, but I didn't finish it, which is,
Yeah, I love what I play too. It's just, it got to the point it was old for me quicker than you.
Yeah.
But again, so I feel like with this, depending how they do the structure of it, that hopefully won't happen.
Hopefully not, yeah.
I got a good feeling about it because it seems to be just one overall story that has some kind of branching path instead of 8 separate stories that you need to make sure everyone's leveled up and all that. I feel like just the structure of this better.
It's slightly less experimental, which is maybe a good thing because the Octopath Traveler didn't quite stick the landing there.
Yeah.
It's just hard to like even if you like are trying to be cautiously optimistic, you look at the art style and it's just like it's just hard to
yeah.
It's hard to deny how good the art style looks. Overall, this direct's been terrible though. It's been really bad.
Yeah.
It's been really bad.
Knockout City, cool.
Man, it's been 35 minutes. It feels like it's been a fucking hour.
Ooh.
The fight for survival starts now.
Hang on tight.
This is the Danganronpa thing?
Yeah, this is from the Danganronpa guy. Immediately in.
Of the Danganronpa and Zero Escape series.
Yep.
Comes a fight for your life, literally.
Yeah, we hadn't seen this since the like first thing.
I think it's been playable on like mobile.
Must now survive this game of fate at all costs.
I don't want to die yet. Sorry to scare you all, but the game is canceled.
The game is suddenly called off.
I thought they were announcing a cancellation of the game. That would be really funny.
But everyone's vanished. Set off on a captivating journey across the country that blends side-scrolling action with suspenseful narrative.
The one behind the whole game of fate.
As you make your way back,
He was looking straight at the camera. This is gonna get meta as shit.
Yep. And teaming up with the group to overcome challenges and monsters that stand in your way.
This looks too happy. I feel like something's gonna get. There's gonna be a turn.
I need the turn.
There's gonna be.
I want the turn.
You're gonna get the
May
turn.
28th. Wield the powers of Olympus.
Okay, DLC probably. I was about to say like,
Critically acclaimed dungeon crawler.
Okay, this is not worthy of being announced in the fucking direct. You should be like the direct. You shouldn't have time.
Let me throw this.
To assist you on your journey out of the underworld.
There's no reason in this direct to like if this was the smaller thing, like
sure, but this is supposed to be a main direct where it's like we don't have time for just a physical release of a game that's already out.
The second is a 32-page full-color character compendium.
Like I'd say, it's been a long time since we've been able to talk about it, but I think like towards like the end of the last direct, and when we were getting into like Nintendo strategy in general, I was talking about how Nintendo is starting to really cheapen the direct name. This is a prime example of that. Like directs, we're gonna start to. I think after this one is officially when I'm gonna start to be like, just because a direct's announced doesn't mean it's gonna have. It's gonna be big, you know. It's like no, they've kind of ruined that whole perception.
Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge.
Nintendo's basically no better than anyone else at this point because like just because they say like we're doing a direct, you know what I mean.
You are the legendary ninja Ryu Hayabusa, fighting against a great evil with battle skills that are second to none. Wield an arsenal of killer weapons, each offering.
There are a lot of Ninja Gaiden games, and aren't some of them supposed to be good and some of them not so good?
Yeah, I think it's like Castlevania. There's some that people hate.
Are these the good ones?
Probably not. Just looking. Like, I mean, it's not supposed to. I don't know. This doesn't look like I remember Ninja Gaiden looking.
Man, I know there's some later like 3D one. I know that people are considered great. I just don't know if this is one of them.
Okay, I just.
Maybe, I might be wrong on that.
I just assume later 3D is bad, but
yeah, I'm ignorant of the series.
Oh, I am too. I am a big old baby. I'm never gonna play it. So was this only 3D later games? Like this didn't have any of the.
Yeah, it was just like I think a trilogy of games, of 3D games.
More battles are coming to Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity.
This shouldn't be something I get one of the things I get the most excited about, but
yeah.
Here we are.
No, this should have been like one of the first few announcements. Like, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Wait, what was announced there?
Pyra and the other guy being playable characters.
Okay.
Expanded roster, new character vignettes, new LA stage. You know, you should have. Okay, we'll have to look at that shit when we talk about it later.
But definitely, it wasn't like a story thing that was just announced. Was it? It was just like.
I have no idea. They went by so fast.
But I feel like they would have made some more pomp and circumstances if it was anything more than just some characters.
Yeah.
Use the job system to develop.
I saw new maps and shit on there, so I don't know. Well, I'll look at that one.
They definitely didn't sell it very well. They just showed some pictures, some splash art. That was it.
I don't disagree.
It makes me feel like it must not be that substantial because they.
I saw new stages and like multiple packs that said new characters.
Oh yeah, maybe.
An updated demo is also available. The latest installment in the legendary Ghosts and Goblins series comes to life. As the brave knight Arthur, you'll unleash weapons.
Wasn't it a Nintendo Direct where we saw this just not that long ago?
No, it was announced during Game Awards.
Game Awards, that's right.
I mean, I figured this was going to be here at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be complaining about this if it wasn't that we are 10 minutes away from the end and there's been
launches February 25th. Pre-orders are available now on Nintendo eShop. 8 protagonists, 8 captivating journeys. Saga Frontier has been remastered for Nintendo
another
Switch.
series I'm kind of ignorant about. Then if people
sci-fi world with any of the protagonists, each with their own stories.
It looks very 90s square, like just in the layout of shit. But.
Yeah, this is like the kind of shit we can get into for sure.
The protagonist Acellus. Saga Frontier remastered.
I don't like the fucking. It looks like they're using like the like Final Fantasy VI mobile art, and I hate that art so much.
Yeah.
It's probably one of those. The original looks way better. God, this game looks terrible on Switch. Jesus, this is Apex.
Dude, holy
hell! Good lord. This is what I'm talking about with just the Switch. It's just.
I think they actually said 30 frames on here.
This looks like absolute ass.
I saw people excited for this. Even then, I was like, why? Now I'm definitely like.
At some point, people are going to start agreeing with us that it's like a lot of games you just can't buy on Switch. And that reputation. That reputation is going to start to like stain them. Where it's like you just don't buy games on Switch.
Hello there. I'm AG
Okay.
Onuma, producer.
Yeah, I knew I recognized him.
I'm sure a lot of you saw me and thought there might be news about the sequel to The Legend of
Fuck
Zelda:
you.
Breath of the Wild game. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to share right now.
Fucking
we apologize. Development is proceeding smoothly, and we should be able to bring you some new information this year.
I would hope so.
So they're probably gonna have like
have to ask you
collection
just
of
a bit longer.
old Zelda games or something.
Skyward Sword.
While you're all waiting, however, this Legend of Zelda game will be coming to Nintendo
This
Switch.
is Skyward Sword.
It's just gonna be a shitty port. It's just, I mean, you know, it's good games that they're porting, but or maybe just Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
Is your last announcement just gonna be we're porting Skyward Sword
No,
and
I mean,
probably
there's
probably
still
doing
like
the bare minimum?
8-ish minutes left. There's at least something else. I'm not saying this will save. Obviously, nothing will save this completely.
Oh no,
but, yeah.
God no. I mean, honestly, even if they do Odyssey 2 right now, I'll be very excited about it, but they still wasted 45 minutes of me. So they didn't have enough for a direct, clearly. A lot of this could have been in indies and partner showcases and other things like that, and they would have been worse. Like I said, the previous indie showcases they've done had way better indie games than the ones that were showed here.
Well, I'm excited for this in a bubble.
This is the cool thing. I'm not shitting on this, like, you know.
Just seen is The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD.
Very interested to see how they handle the motion controls and stuff.
2011 on the Wii console, and now it's coming to Nintendo Switch. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword featured a control scheme in which players would use the Wii Remote Plus controller as a sword and the Nunchuck controller as a shield. With the increased processing power of the Nintendo Switch system, the controls here are smoother and even more intuitive. And we've recreated the controls for the sword and the shield here by having the player hold 2 Joy-Con controllers.
Makes sense.
The Joy-Con controller in your right hand is the sword.
I just wonder if that's going to be the only option or if they will have. I mean, I get it if it is, but I just wonder.
The Joy-Con controller in your left hand is the shield. By lifting the controller, you can raise the shield to block enemy attacks. You can perform other actions like using both controllers to wield a bow and arrow. These physical movements add a sense of urgency and tension to combat. But we've also made it possible to play the game with button controls to ensure it can be.
I'm okay with this. Give people options.
Yeah, I definitely want to hear what people have to say about how it is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because the game was not made for it.
People want to be able to play it in Switch Lite if they did just motion controls. So, right call.
Tilt the stick down when you want to swing the sword downward. To swing to the
but
right,
I could see it like not playing super great in this because it wasn't made for it. So this will definitely be I want to see people to have hands on.
Here's something else we've been working on. Specially designed Joy-Con controllers.
Okay.
The right Joy-Con.
Can you just say something else we've been working on?
I think there's a chance that they have like a Mario All-Stars type bundle of like Ocarina and those things, or and some of those packages.
The question
together.
is now that Skyward Sword's off the table, like, do they just do Majora, Ocarina, Wind Waker, and Twilight, or do they, or they?
It's weird.
Okay. Because there is a Twilight and
Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD launches July 16th.
Because there is a Twilight Princess and Wind Waker like HD thing on the Wii.
Alright, no, man, that's pre-order. Sorry.
Okay.
An especially designed Joy-Con
will they just do an Ocarina and Majora's Mask bundle and do those two separately?
Especially since they already did remasters of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess on Wii. You just put those over here.
Yeah.
However, it gave a glimpse into many features and innovations that would eventually be adopted in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Using the sailcloth to descend in midair, a stamina gauge that depleted.
I think we're just like
they're
just loving on Skyward Sword. I don't think they're actually like
collecting items to upgrade gear. I hope those
but we're at the time for like one more.
It's just the shitty thing is even if they announce that whole thing, it's again another thing that just should have been here with Virtual Console, and it's just I don't know.
Yeah.
Please look forward to The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD.
Me Breath of the Wild 2, you cowards.
Holy hell.
Well, what did you think? The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword has been optimized for Nintendo Switch. It includes intuitive motion controls and button controls by tilting the right control stick. Okay, the next game will be our last announcement for today. Please take a look at this.
Better be good. It's smashed again. Splatoon!
Is it 3 or like some spin-off or some shit?
I think it's a spin-off. Is this just
kill some
Splatoon
people?
Fallout? Oh, look at that!
Oh, what did it ask there?
Oh, I haven't paid attention to the last thing. Oh, you just get a little buddy? Yes!
This is a Splatoon RPG or something.
I mean, I'll take it. We're gonna get more of that sweet Splatoon lore.
I kind of forget sometimes that Splatoon is actually a post-apocalyptic game.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk 20 Night City is a dangerous place.
The fish guy's new, I think.
So, someone please put the Cyberpunk music over this trailer. I really want to,
I see a city in the background.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Is it an open world Splatoon game? What is the game?
Oh, please. Or is this straight as just Splatoon 3? Yep.
Hey. I was like, I kind of hope, I want the multiplayer competitive part to still be there, because I still like, I mean, I know I'm a hypocrite for saying that because I haven't even played I haven't played either of them, but I like the idea of them still having competitive multiplayer. I don't want everything to be in single player RPG, honestly. I'm kind of okay with.
Well, I was thinking that this is going to be like a spin-off, do something cool, interesting, like, because you can do different stuff with the.
So depending on the date of this, it's like maybe I should just wait for this, but it's like I've been wanting to.
Splatoon 2 is pretty. I say wait.
Yeah. I'm just a little surprised, dude.
Because Splatoon 2 is already pretty expensive, so I might say just wait.
Yeah.
Is what I say. Back into the 2022, okay.
But there's definitely going to be, that's pretty far away, actually. They were definitely...
Okay.
Definitely single player stuff going on there, obviously, and they already do that enough with 2.
Splatoon 3. This game is scheduled to launch in 2022, so it'll be a while.
But that's such a far away announcement.
At a later time.
Still doesn't really help Nintendo's right now problem.
A sampling of games coming to Nintendo Switch. A variety of games are in development. And we look forward to sharing with you in the future.
Go ahead and lock it in. Breath of the Wild 2 ain't coming this year. There's not a chance in hell that game's coming this year. There's no chance. Whew, that was garbage. I'm sorry, that was garbage.
I can say I disagree. I mean, there are a couple highlights for sure, but that's like, I'll say conservatively, like 10 to 15% of this thing. Would you disagree with that?
No, I think that's absolutely true.
So, before we get to the discussion part of it,
jeez.
Let's see. Pull up the thing for the expansion pass for Hyrule Warriors.
Let's just talk about the things that we care about, and then like
little bit of general talk about general stuff.
Partially because I also do have an exam tomorrow that I need to study for, so I can't do this for too terribly long.
Okay,
but so let's just have like a somewhat brief discussion. And to be honest, there's not much to talk about. Really, there's really not. There's very, very little. I don't think we need to go piece by piece. We don't care about the vast majority of this.
Nope, I agree. Let me look over real quick to know which ones. Okay. I'll just highlight the ones that I know we will discuss at least somewhat. And if you see something highlight, there might be 1 or 2 joke ones if they speak to me. Because I need jokes, Darby. That's who I am.
Stream might be frozen. Okay, no, looks like we're still in. Still in this thing? Yeah, we're still in this thing. Oh boy.
Yeah, internet's not gonna be happy, and I figured it might be a case they're overreacting. They're not overreacting.
They're not overreacting. They're absolutely not. I'm sorry.
No. I agree.
I mean, a lot of times they do, so I get it. They don't deserve a lot of sympathy, but I mean, I'm not going to understand if people are like, what are y'all talking about? Y'all are just being... I'm like, no.
Yeah.
This was their first, like, real direct in a freaking year and a half, and they still haven't had a real direct. This was not... They did not have enough for a direct. Clearly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just because you had a direct doesn't mean you actually had the announcements for it. I mean, they clearly didn't. Like, this should have been a mini direct with this... like Skyward Sword, Splatoon 3, Monster Hunter Rise, and like no more heroes, a few other things like that. And it should have been a mini direct, and it'd be like, cool, that was a very good mini direct, and all the rest of this stuff could be in tweets or other like random things like that. This did not need to be 15 freaking minutes.
Oh, I feel like this would be. I mean, when I say this, I don't mean it would be great. Like, we would consider this like a great direct if this happened. But if they did it like towards the lower end for direct time, about 30-ish minutes, and cut out 20 minutes of fat, we'd be looking, it's like, okay, yeah, that was, pretty solid.
It would be
return.
underwhelming, but it wouldn't be like, this was bad. This was very bad.
Well, I don't think we need to talk too much about how bad this overall thing is. Let's talk about the things that actually caught interest. First thing, Pyra and Mythra being in Smash.
Yeah. It's a very worthy, needed thing that needed to happen. It should have been in the base game, but I'm glad to correct the wrongs.
The good news is, potentially, the fact that Direct's so bad might get a little heat off them.
Yeah, it's true. But I mean, again, think about the fact that fucking Piranha Plant was in this game, but Pyra or Rex were not. Yeah. Like, that's ridiculous. That's absurd.
And here's my thing with it as well. I think Monolith Soft / Xenoblade needed another rep. I think it deserved another rep for sure. Xenoblade 2 sold over 2 million copies. I think it deserves a rep.
I'm with you. I'm 100% with you.
But yeah, all the Fire Emblem characters that, I'm
about to say, like, way lesser characters have been. They have doubled, tripled, quadrupled, sextupled up on the franchises before they gave Xenoblade a second rep. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, people are going to be upset, and I know I'm biased because I love these characters in this game, but
their design's really cool. Xenoblade is like up there in like series that I'm like, maybe I should try this. I mean, really just just Definitive Edition. That's really
let me see. Yeah. I was trying to wait. So I'm glad they went with this as far as these two goes for their designs. They did at some point add a more safe for work design for both characters. That it makes sense they're using for this game. Yeah. Mythra's is a lot better than Pyra's. Just adding the black
leggings
and stuff just makes her design look a whole lot better. You need to do a lot more stuff for Pyra. They didn't go all the way with it here, but I'm glad they at least did some of the stuff to make it not look as bad.
I like both the designs. Look cool. Yeah. Like I said, they just visually look way more interesting than Rex.
Yes,
sure.
I'm glad they went with Pyra and Mythra as the playable characters. Yeah, partly because characters on Ryan, they're just a lot more interesting. Hey, and more female playable characters is always nice.
I wonder if that's that was kind of a cool thing where like she like did a counter and like phases through them to the other side. That's kind of cool.
But isn't like it's like this is counterattack, and also the fact it switched between them like Pokemon Trainer, and it seems they do have just different attacks and like specials
switching pretty fast too. Yeah. It was like switch attack switch attack. So yeah,
and I like the stage is just Gramps.
And tiny.
That's what I kind of like. It's different because it's just tiny.
Yeah, I like.
And just visually, just kind of distinct from other ones.
Yeah.
So we don't have to go into it now.
It's literally Lucina Crom again because Rex is in the final Smash. Yes. So does that mean Rex is going to be in the next Smash or whatever, like the next Smash Bros? Right?
I know you're saying it jokingly, but I'll go with
it. It might be. I don't know.
Pyra and Mythra actually would be the big part of his moveset. I mean, I guess there are other like story blades that they can give him if they want hypothetically that, but I think just doing these two is just what you need to do for Xenoblade 2. I think this was the right call.
Yeah,
100%. And I kind of mentioned it. Like, I know some people bummed this is another first-party character, but I've been more like kind of not wanting first-party characters as much because I feel like there are only a handful of first-party characters I think kind of are needed / deserved in a way.
I agree.
And the ones that we were thinking were likely were the more boring ones, like maybe another Mario character. I mean, depending with Mario character, we get Pokemon and that kind of stuff.
Which definitely could still happen.
Yeah. But so I think I'm glad with this, at least with the first-party characters they've done in DLC so far. Let's throw Byleth to the side because everyone agrees that's unneeded.
It's dumb,
ARMS and a Xenoblade 2 rep, or I think the two, a lot of people agreed that were just kind of anti those games for some reason. They're like, okay, these two needed to be in, and Sakurai pretty much even said they didn't make the cut because of timing. And I'm glad they're just like making it right.
Which again, I've always kind of called bullshit on it because Piranha Plant's in the game. I mean,
Well, well, the timing for the original game I get because Piranha Plant just always existed. He didn't really know these things necessarily existed or would do well at the time. You could argue maybe they should have made that didn't.
Well, you mean Piranha Plant just existed? I mean, they had to make Piranha Plant.
No. What I'm saying is the timing of it is Sakurai didn't really know much about these characters existing when he made the roster for Ultimate. Piranha Plant obviously existed way before that, so
gotcha. Yeah, all right. Point is, they belong in the game. Now, I know it's not
now
the like.
Chrom was the only first party character we got in DLC. Then you can absolutely call bullshit.
You mean Byleth?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Byleth. Yeah, call bullshit because that game came out later than the other two.
Yeah. No, I mean this is not the like. It's just, I mean, it's hard when you're following up freaking Steve and Sephiroth, and before that, Joker and Banjo and all these other things. Yeah, it's hard. Anytime you go to, like, honestly, any first-party character, pretty much.
At this point,
there's going to be, like, some, like, but it could have been Dante. It could have been Crash and everything. It's like,
at this point, it could be anyone.
And I get that. It's not as flashy. This is not going to make as many headlines, but they should be in the game. And I think it's perfectly fair. And, like, none of us really have any right to complain when we've just had the craziest shit of all time. And this is not the last one. We have, like, 3 more characters. Two more still. It's like...
and
even if the next 2 are also boring, we got fucking Sephiroth and Steve and all these others.
It's just a weird thing with like Smash. Like what people want is as the game actually got more characters, the more just like picky and just kind of people have gotten or whatever.
They're spoiled.
More kind of toxic they got with character choice. It's like you look at Rob getting in Brawl when there were far less characters and people didn't really bat an eye to that.
Yeah.
Because Rob's like, oh, look at this cool thing. And now it's like a first party character of any kind. It's like met by a lot of people like, what is this garbage?
Yeah.
I know we opened the floodgates, but this is still a Nintendo fighting game.
I appreciate Nintendo and the Smash team that, again, they don't always play to what it seems like the largest crowd wants. They do sometimes because, you want to sell your game. But, like, there's other times where it's like, I mean, this is kind of like promoting Nintendo, but in a way, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is kind of old news. I mean, this is not really like, pumping up this is not the hot shit of Xenoblade, but this is like we're very proud of this game. There are fans of this game that are going to be very excited and should be a part of Nintendo. I mean, like, Xenoblade at this point should have more than 1 rep. If freaking Fire Emblem can have 7, I mean, then they should have 2. It should, yes. If Final Fantasy 7, which is not even remotely a Nintendo thing, can have 2, Xenoblade should probably have 2.
I know, again, I'm biased. I would also be happy if they added Elma from Xenoblade Chronicles X. I know that makes sense right away, but just in general, like if they ended up adding those 3, like I'd be like, or characters from each of the 3 games, be like, cool. Yeah. So,
but cool thing.
I'll obviously have more to say once we get closer to the release and be able to analyze that trailer more.
Yes,
but I am hyped as hell. Next thing that I say of the interest, well, I will say Famicom Detective Club looks pretty neat and could be my thing. We'll see. Next thing of mega interest is Mario Golf Super Rush.
Yes.
Let's see. Darby will skip to that. I mean, Monster Hunter Rise is obviously great, but
that was just kind of it was a trailer. I mean, it was good. Game was fun. Yeah.
Looked awesome, and it was more like this needed to be in here kind of thing. Yeah. But Mario Golf announcement makes sense. Like I said before the direct started, it was time for another Mario sports game. Golf seemed to be next on the docket.
Yeah. And what I'm trying to say is, like, things like that kind of looks more like the pop that I like expect of like modern, like Odyssey and tennis and stuff. Like, obviously not every game's gonna look like Odyssey, but I feel like most of the game doesn't really look like it. Like, the environment, like, there's not like a crowd full of people. There's not, like, the environments look very like kind of like bland, and kind of like the textures look very like kind of shoddy. I mean, like, I'm not trying to shit on the game too much. I'm just saying, like, I think lately Nintendo, even for their spin-off games, have seemed to be like, we're gonna like really make sure we're gonna add the little bells and whistles to make this like feel like a modern game. Whereas this one, like, I think conceptually it looks cool, which is the most important thing. But I just think like in general, this looks like a more budget title, which I'm not used to with Nintendo's. Mm-hmm. That's all.
Yeah. But, we're at this point in the trailer where it's just like, okay, this is like a normal golf game, which is fine. But we need the weirdness.
Yeah.
And then we skip
the antics. Where are the antics?
And then the motion controls, cool. Yeah, obviously that was going to be in there.
That was going to happen. Yeah.
And then we get to this shit. Speed run golf, and then you get like
power ups, knock people over, do all this shit, get there.
This is the shit we live for.
So I guess this is just free for all. It's like if you get to the ball first and hit, then you're.
Yep. I don't know if it's like directly just a timing thing or what's going on. Like, may just be the first one to get it. Yeah, but
it's really funny. Yeah, you need some chaos.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking during the thing. It's like, okay, where
they're playing it too straight. They're playing it too straight.
And then the story mode looks, the idea looks neat. It seems to be looks like it might have more effort than the tennis one.
I really don't like that tennis story mode, so we'll see. We'll see about this. Because it was like, it wasn't even playing the tennis game. It was playing a bunch of really bad like minigame things that were just like really poorly thought out. It's like that kind of, it's like, no, just like let me play the game. Like make an interesting way for me to play the game. You don't need to do all this other shit. I mean, that basically screamed like our tennis game is not interesting enough to do a story mode of. And like, I hope they don't do the same thing with this.
Yep, coming out June 25th. Pretty much the same time that tennis did, however many years ago. So makes sense as a summer title.
Yeah, I think it's cool. That's cool.
Next game of interest.
Interested to see what is the next game.
No More Heroes 3, baby.
Okay, it's right there. Okay.
Yeah,
yeah.
We don't have to skip too far. Afterwards, we're about to skip a little ways. But yeah, No More Heroes. Let's go. Oh wait, I think I just saw go back a little bit. Okay, pause it right there.
Oh yeah, it looks like a Joy-Con.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's definitely Joy-Cons.
Nice. Okay, yeah. That's exactly what it's supposed to look like.
That's what they're going for there for sure with the colors. Yeah. I want them to release a version of the game where you get a thing that you put on your wrist that you put the two Joy-Cons in like that. Mm-hmm. That's a way that you can play the game. That's what I want.
Oh, no surprise, Skyward Sword HD is $60. But yeah. Look at all this crazy shit, Derby. All the wackiness.
Yeah.
Of course, you're doing your chores to make money so you can actually fight these aliens. You need cash to save the world.
Is that something from the
yes? That is something you always do. And it looks like you're doing musical chairs.
It's like horror game.
Yeah, and then in Final Fantasy, then you're in a mech battle, and then you're fighting Fu, and then you got the new Death Glove shit. Death Glove was in Travis Strikes Again, so this is the first time in like the
nice
normal games. So I'm curious to see what all you can do with that.
I just feel like you're gonna constantly through this playthrough constantly be like surprised and be like, wait, what is going on? That's the best thing. I think it's gonna be a blast.
Oh yeah, I guess the one thing, if I was to criticize the way the game looks, it looks a little blurry in here. I don't know if it's just a trailer or not.
Oh, it's pretty low budget. Yeah. It's not going to be the best looking game, but I think the heart is, and it's also going to sell like shit. But I think it's going to be.
I'm going to love the shit out of this game.
Oh yeah, it's going.
No, everything they showed there, it's like, yeah, let's go. Yeah. No, I mean. We got a decent amount of trailer. I mean, I guess at this point, probably the fourth trailer or something like that. And technically, I haven't seen that much footage, but every time they show a trailer, it shows like something new from the announcement with the whole mech thing. Like, or if I answer obviously the food trailer is excellent.
They always surprise you with
it's like
every single thing.
This is always looking great. Actually, the worst part about this presentation for it was August 27th. I thought it'd be a little closer, but hey, we got a date.
Yeah, at least you have a second half of 2021 game you're looking forward to now.
Oh yeah.
Because there's another game you thought you were probably playing second half of 2021 that I think has pretty much been deconfirmed today, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, that may have bad news for you and your fantasy.
Yep.
Man, I may have picked the wrong one to lock you in.
I might have picked the wrong one.
Or actually, we thought that's when Zelda was more likely, so you might not get either of them. Okay, we don't talk about it real quick. Animal Crossing Mario items.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm
those are cool.
I'm still super into Animal Crossing in this. I mean, obviously, I like. It seems like a little thing, which in the grand scheme, it's not like a crazy new mode, but there's a lot of items, and that's going to be
100%. People at the very least going to get those warp pipes.
Oh yeah, I'll love that. I'll definitely. That's going to be a part of my island is warping between. I wonder if you just put them in two different spots and they warp together. I wonder if you can do like more than one, or if it's just like one.
True, more than one set. Yeah. Very curious about that.
But
you'll have to check and report back.
Dress up as Mario characters. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time.
You gonna dress up as Peach for a while?
Absolutely, I am.
Yep.
Give me Rosalina.
Okay, next thing that is coming up directly after this, the presentation. Okay, not this.
Just like, hey, we released this game. Remember?
Definitely one of the highlights, Project Triangle Strategy.
Such a bad name, but yes, definitely. Probably the biggest highlight for me.
It's not going to be the final title, but they could do like Project Octopath.
It might be though, because Project Octopath Traveler became the final title.
Well, it was Project Octopath. Wait, was it just Project Octopath?
It might have just been Octopath, but yeah, I think he might.
I think they just like added a word, or maybe it was. I don't know.
I don't know. I kind of remember Project Octopath Traveler. But
it might have been. No, you're 100% right. It was. Who the fuck knows with this?
It's not as important.
I feel like since it's coming out next year and they're doing all this stuff, they'll do feedback and see if like people Octopath was like, okay, we'll stick with that. With this, they probably won't. But anyway. With that said, talking about the game, it looks gorgeous, of course, because it's using the Octopath Traveler engine. I like how they immediately went, hey, this is the next game in the 2D HD or whatever series.
They coined that.
Yep. And it's like, hey, and immediately when you look at the gameplay, like, oh, it's just a strategy game.
Yeah, no, yes. Keep using this engine in this art style. You don't have to change a damn thing. Just release more games in it.
Yep, and as we were talking about kind of throughout the presentation, kind of bringing it up, potentially people's problems with Octopath, including ours, with the whole it's just being overly long and all the grinding and stuff.
Yeah.
With this style of gameplay and the fact that it seems to be just one straight story, will help alleviate that greatly.
I hope. I'm really. The more we think about it, the more I'm optimistic in that regard. Because like that was I loved so much about Octopath Traveler. I mean, like some of the stories got pretty cliche or whatever, but it was still like very enjoyable, and obviously the art style was great, and I love the combat. But it just got to a point where it's like the game was just poorly balanced, and I agree with you. Like this, they're not showing you really going on an overworld kind of like you do in the other thing. This probably is more of a linear story, so like it's kind of one of those things that like. If the level thing is like really bad, then that means the entire game is broken. It's like that's probably not going to be as much the case. So yeah, and the combat system seems cooler than Octopath Traveler. Not that Octopath Traveler was bad, but this looks very Final Fantasy Tactics and looks cool. Yeah,
and the fact that they mention story choices and depending on what the whole, I guess, triangle of morality or whatever the shit it is. Could affect like what kind of allies you get throughout the thing, and all that,
and maybe permadeath or something like that.
Yeah, permadeath, and shows how the story goes.
Looks like you have a whole team of people that you're doing things with.
And it looks like you can set shit on fire. Let's go.
I wonder if you're like choosing a side in this war, and like our games will be different if we choose or something like that.
Yeah, they mentioned it looks like they're focusing mainly on one kingdom maybe at the moment.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that'd be cool if it was just, that could be the closest thing to an Octopath Traveler kind of thing with that, where there are just 3 different sides you kind of choose from. I mean, there's no different like 3 houses and the like.
Yeah, it's very 3 houses.
And that'd be pretty cool if, we did that. We could choose different stuff. But even if it's not, I'm perfectly okay with that.
No.
And it'd be cool. Like, hopefully it's one of those things where the choices actually really do matter and stuff, and we just kind of see like how our...
I like the splash arts, though.
I like the characters we saw so far. So
very cool.
This, obviously, like I said, Octopath Traveler didn't have the staying power with me, unfortunately, but I'm immediately hyped for this.
Yeah.
Just probably because, again, I think there is reason to be even just with the type of game it is.
Yeah, I am too. And I'm glad that Shadow dropped demo, because this is definitely a game I'm going to want to get my hands on. I still maybe want to hear some impressions after it comes out. I still might not get it like day one, or I might want to hear if what people say about like the length and how it sticks to the overall landing. But at the grand scheme of things, I mean, Octopath Traveler, I got 55 hours that I really enjoyed out of it. So I mean, that's a lot. So I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic about
Yeah.
this one.
It's coming out next year, and since you were disappointed in Three Houses, and I think this might help you, might be your next
maybe.
like kind of Fire Emblem-esque fill.
I'm hoping a little more difficulty than like a Three Houses, which I mean, Octopath Traveler got pretty hard. I mean, it wasn't hard for the right reasons, but whatever.
Yeah, so you can expect impressions whenever we record the next week on the podcast. Yes, I guess we'll say it here by say at the end. We're not recording a regular podcast this week.
Yeah,
we'll be out of town.
Yep.
But next week we will definitely do it, and we will be talking about some games.
Absolutely.
Okay, next thing that's of interest to me is World Ends Club.
Which one was that?
Yeah, it's right. It's that one.
Oh, this is the Danganronpa one. Okay,
Yeah.
Sorry, I just didn't know the name.
Danganronpa Zero Time Escape creators working on a game. What could go wrong for these characters? The answer is absolutely everything and anything.
I'm sure he's just going to play it completely straight and be happy-go-lucky the whole time.
There's all those weird monsters and whatever. I'm sure no one dies.
The guy like looking directly at the camera and saying like, "There's only one person who could be behind." It's like,
and I've noticed, like when they were doing that whole thing riding on the bike, there was story chart thing at the bottom where we're branching paths and stuff.
Yeah.
And there was like an action thing and a story.
Well, it was
thing.
weird. Like they were split in half, and you were like choosing between them for something.
Yeah.
And there's definitely like. They look very like happy anime characters or whatever, but like some of those like monster designs look like a different art style than them.
Well,
and that's usually
the first monster we immediately see is that like kids drawing monster thing in the water. It's like okay.
That's usually a key sign for this is gonna get kind of fucked up. When they do the whole like diverging art styles, like that's an easy way to create horror, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So
and it's coming out May 28th, and this is my kind of shit.
It'd be cool because it seems like it's mixing Danganronpa elements, but maybe some more like action-y running around shit, which might be cool. It might add a cool new element because there's been lots of Danganronpa games. It'd be cool to shake it up a little bit. You know?
Well, the last time they tried to do that, we got the Ultra Despair Girls, and we don't talk about that game.
Well, hopefully this is better than that.
Okay, so the next thing
or Hyrule Warriors, we gotta pause on the shit, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, no matter what, I'll definitely stand by. They did not sell this very well, whatever it is.
Oh, I'm not going to disagree on that. I mean, it's obvious for people who played Hyrule Warriors, like there's like, yeah, those two are just going to be playable.
We already missed it. It's right here, isn't it? Or is it after that? I thought it was.
I think it's after this, yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's see. Okay, and they got a timeline. $20 for the expansion pass. Purchase bonus available May 28th. Newly added weapon for Link and newly added costume for Link. Okay, new weapons, cool. Let's see.
Oh, sorry, I forgot you can't see that. Sorry.
Wave 1 and June 21st. Expanded roster, newly added weapon types, new challenges in the Royal Ancient Lab, newly added challenging enemies. And Wave 2, new character vignettes, newly added stages, expanded roster, new battle skills for existing characters. So I'm guessing based off this, you know, just a little purchase bonus, you get new weapon costs for Link in May. That's not going to get me back in right away, for sure.
I mean, is this a game that you're going to want to come back to just for some extra battles? I mean, like, are you going to want to like pay $20 to come here just for some extra battles and not like a story expansion? Because like, you're gonna be playing other games and everything. I mean, I'm
gonna fully admit it. Yeah, it just depends. Like, there's a chance that Wave 1 comes by, and I don't get this yet because it sounds like if there's gonna be any story kind of thing, it's gonna be in Wave 2.
Yeah,
so it may not be till then.
I mean, I guess I don't know technically what a stage means in this, but
yeah,
I'm just assuming this just sounds like it's new characters and like combat things to do, probably.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you know, maybe that'll be enough, but I just figured this is probably like unless it's a story expansion, like I don't know why you would go back to it necessarily, but I guess if you just can't get enough of the combat, I mean, fair enough, but
that would be the reason.
This is also spoken for someone who thinks this game looks like the last thing I would want to play, so who cares what I would think about it.
So if we're going to get DLC, I wish we actually maybe saw one of these characters in action.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you showed nothing. You just showed some like art. Yeah, I guess that's because like all the things coming soon are like not much.
But I'm very curious because I'm going to assume those two that they announced here, Pyra and Rob, I think his name, coming out in June. I'm curious what the characters are going to be in November. I was kind of hoping maybe they'd get, they added a good many more characters like they do with Hyrule Warriors, and they go crazy with it, just like adding like mid-done shit.
We're post game, just add it, go crazy,
or like mid-done other game character shit, but in the Breath of the Wild art style.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
That'd be hype as hell.
That would be pretty cool.
I mean, even for someone like you, just to see them in that art, what they look like.
Yeah, I would walk over and be like, "Hey, look!"
Yeah, that's something cool for non-fans.
Yeah.
Okay, then pretty much everything else is at the end. You want to mention No Breath of the Wild real quick?
Yeah.
2. Immediately
you agree with me, right? There's not a chance in hell it comes out this year now, right? I mean,
yeah, probably not.
It's like a 0.1% chance at this point.
Yeah, I feel like if they were confident, they would have. Yeah, I'd probably be here.
Like if they were not going to show it here, but it was still coming out in 2021, I feel like they just wouldn't have said shit. They wouldn't have said anything. But the fact that they actually came out and said, like,
well,
hey,
I will say for that, the fact that he showed up, I mean, it was to talk about Skyward Sword immediately. Like,
I know.
I mean, yeah, but
I'm going to take this. And I'm going to go ahead and assume that it's not coming out. And if it does, pleasant surprise. But like,
yeah,
I think everyone should go ahead and assume it's not coming this year.
I'm curious what people's reads on this going to be, but. Yeah, that is a very disappointing. It's like quickly. It's like, Onuma? Okay, what are you gonna do here? It's like I bet you're expecting like, fuck you. Like,
Get out of here.
I know what that means.
Get out of here.
But we got Skyward Sword HD announced, which on its own is cool.
Yeah,
and
that is cool.
It is a mainline Zelda I have not touched.
It's not fair to Skyward Sword for it to be like one of the big things at the end of a thing. It was never meant to be.
Yeah,
this is like you're putting the child out there on stage, and like he doesn't know, he's still in diapers. He doesn't know what he's doing out there. It's just not fair. It's not fair. It like never should have been in this big of a spotlight. It was like, this is a cool thing. It should have been a mid-conference cool thing.
Yeah, so I'll be interested to put. Well, of course, interested to try this game out. It will definitely depend on what's coming out around it. For sure.
I doubt I'll get it because I don't know. I played some of it back in the day and didn't love it, to be honest. But yeah, I am very interested to see if that control scheme like works. The button control scheme, because it's obviously not what the game was made for. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see.
And we got our one last thing where I was going through my mind, like, what the fuck could it be? It's like, it's got to be something new. It's gotta. They ran out of the things that are old that we could potentially be. Well, I guess they could have announced like Bayonetta or showed Bayonetta or some shit, but yeah. We got a brand new game. We got Splatoon 3 announcement. Immediately it starts like, is this the long rumored Splatoon spinoff?
Yeah.
Is that where we're going with this?
The vibe you got at first.
Yeah.
And there's probably some like, certainly obviously this is hinting at whatever the single player of this game will be.
I honestly am hoping that this does have like a crazier like single player component. I mean, the ones in the first two games are absolutely strong and I love them. And the Octo expansion is fucking fantastic.
The way they were teasing this makes me feel like it's a bigger thing. Like this was for a multiplayer game. This was a very big part of it. Was like she's walking around. This
and with the little buddy, it's like, okay, well, what purpose does that guy have for a multiplayer?
Yeah,
because I don't believe that he is seen in the actual multiplayer.
I will say, for somewhat like, not to be completely negative Nancy or whatever, but like, I mean, the game is very far away in 2022. And I will say, when it got past all this and went into a Splatoon 3, here's the multiplayer of them going against each other, kind of looks indistinguishable from Splatoon 2 to me. I mean, do you disagree?
No, I mean, obviously the stage is different. I'm able to tell that right away and everything, but I can't disagree with that. It's like, it's Splatoon.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they did show some other gameplay elements, so it's going to be that, but from a graphical standpoint, it's still, I mean, this is going to be another Switch game, so it's not going to be that big of a boost in that.
I wish that Nintendo could have found a way to just Overwatch. Well, bad example, because Overwatch is screwing this all up now. The Overwatch is actually going the opposite way, but could have games as a service this, where like they could have just had Splatoon be a platform that they keep adding stuff onto and find a way to monetize it that way. But Nintendo is just a very archaic company when it comes to this type of shit.
Yeah.
So we should honestly just be happy that there's a competitive shooter multiplayer Nintendo game at all.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Like I have a lot of respect for Splatoon, and I need to just suck it. I need to like put my money where my mouth is and just play the damn thing, because I think I would really like it.
Well, we got a year away for this, so yeah, do that. We can jump in if you want to get to.
Yeah, I might just get to. If this is 2022, then screw it.
And we're seeing like at least one new weapon type early with that bow. I don't think any of the other ones are new. Oh yeah, and it looks like instead of just starting in main area, you start in that box thing. You just you kind of move it around and launch.
Yeah.
To a starting point.
Yeah.
Thing is with this,
but this is a little bit of a, it's really far away. I mean, it's nice to know that it's happening, because it was not, I guarantee, but it still doesn't really help the problem that I think is a much larger discussion that Nintendo. I mean, it's weird to say this because the Switch is selling like crazy, but as far as Nintendo as a game publisher, they're in a rough spot. I think we are gearing up for another quiet ass year for Nintendo. I think it's going to be 2 straight years of a lot of silence. Like there'll be like 1 or 2 or 3 big games and mostly silence.
So yeah, there's definitely something to fear with this, like with this lineup, and I guess we can go into this as the closing discussion for this thing. But yeah, you look at what they have announced here as far as like their games, and I mean, as far as what we talked about, like highlighted here, we talked about all the Nintendo games they announced, and they don't have anything that's like theirs until June with Mario Golf.
Yeah,
and right now it's kind of a weird thing that I think like Splatoon 3 is a hype announcement and everything, but it is coming out next year.
Yeah, it doesn't help this
year. The kind of weird thing about it is they still got another half of the year to go, even if I'm just going to assume what they have here is
all they're going to have for the
first half. I guess there's new Pokemon Snap as well. That wouldn't be in here because they're probably going to be a Pokemon Direct next week. So there's something like that. But I mean, I know none of those are like big Megaton things. Those are kind of more like they have a couple like more B tier type things, I guess is the way to put it, with lack of A tier. And then after June, I mean, there's Skyward Sword HD in July. Again, I'd put that with the other ones we're discussing because it's an HD thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game from 2010.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And not even really a big update.
It's like, if, like, just I mean, I hate to be that way, but like we would never, ever consider if Sony was like, we're doing a remaster of Uncharted 1 or some shit like that. We would never consider that one of their big releases of the year. It would be like, okay, they did that. But whatever you say, like, oh, what did Sony release this year? You'd be like, oh, these are the big things or whatever. Yeah. Nintendo is the only company we do that for because there's nothing else. So we have to be like Xenoblade Definitive Edition and Skyward Sword Remake or whatever as like, oh no, they had things in the summer. They had this game from 2010. So like, we don't do that with anyone else, but we do that with Nintendo, and I don't know. It's like just me as a Nintendo fan, we're in dark ages for sure. I mean, there is like, because also I think another component of that I've been saying over and over again, it's becoming more and more true. Look at Apex. God damn, that looks terrible. Yeah, it looks 100%. Fucking horrible, and that's just gonna get worse and worse and worse as time goes on.
This is the free-to-play game.
Yeah, but it's still just like, again, I can't see that reputation not coming to bite them at some point when it just gets to where it's like a good percentage of the games that you can get on this platform just run so much worse, or they have to downgrade it to like a PS3 type level just to get it to run at all. And like, especially like super serious gamers are going to just get to the point where that's just going to be what they associate Switch with, and they're like, okay, I'm done, I'm not getting this anymore. I'm gonna put my Switch in a drawer just like I did my 3DS and forget about it, and I'm gonna start playing my PS5 and PS4 because games run there. And I don't know. I worry. And it's weird for me to say this for a company that has sold 80 million units of their thing, but I just see the Wii coming again, dude. I really do. I see like a big success at the beginning, but the industry is going to lap them, and they're going to get to the point where they can't catch up.
Yeah,
that's just what I see happening.
I mean, just part of it, I kind of disagree with like part of what you're saying. Like with the whole thing with Apex Legends, it's like, you know, the industry will see this or people will see this. It's like, I mean, yeah, but if they're not there, then it doesn't really make much of a difference in the end. And as far as
I don't know, dude, because I mean, like the Wii kind of got to like if the Switch does have to rely on its Nintendo output because the third party output is bad or non-existent.
That's the thing.
They're obviously not putting out enough first party output to really. Like,
I agree
maintain,
with that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
There's definitely a question about the first party thing, and there's a point I was trying to make earlier that I will definitely we'll circle around back to. But I think what's different here with the Wii is, yes, there's a case of it's not getting the big AAA giant budget games, or at least like with Apex when they do get it, they weren't like it looked like shit.
Yeah.
But there is the indies aspect of it to where it's, it's not the giant games, but the difference is the Wii, it is actually getting quality games where people actually do prefer it to that. I think that is a big difference to me.
I mean, it's a big difference for us. I don't know ultimately in the grand scheme of things if indies are going to save your platform. And again, save your platform is ridiculous when it's selling this well. But you would have said that once about the Wii as well. I mean, the Wii sold absurd. I mean, I'm not saying it's a 1-to-1, and it's not going to crash as hard as the Wii, because a lot of the Wii was grandmas and stuff getting it, who like people who were never going to buy other games outside of Wii Sports and Wii Fit anyway. But I just really do worry that we're just going to get to like, because the Nintendo droughts started getting so big at the end of Wii and even into Wii U at times, to where like Nintendo just got to be a non-factor in a lot of ways. And I just feel like we're heading that way again, because we're about to have 2 straight years of like, when we talk about the big games of the year, Nintendo is just not even in the conversation. And I don't know. I just I worry that like we're gonna be talking about like, the Switch sold a lot, but really kind of like fell off a cliff. It's like really like kind of like slowly faded into obscurity as time went on. I hope I'm wrong. I mean, and there's gonna be great games on Switch. There's definitely gonna be, but I just don't think it's ever going to be at the clip that it needs to be.
Yeah, it's just a weird thing where obviously, Nintendo does rely on their first-party stuff more, and I know I'm going to probably get shit made from you and just people in general for what I'm about to say is, but, people look at, mention Sony's first-party is, does Sony really release that much more than Nintendo? I know they don't need to.
They don't, because they don't need to. I mean, I'm not saying it's fair. No, it's not fair.
I'm not saying they're saying it, but people act like Sony does real quick.
No, but I think that is very valid that they don't need to.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not saying... again, it's not fair. No,
obviously Nintendo doesn't need to either.
They release the same amount. I'd say they release about the same amount as Nintendo, but they have that other pillar, and Nintendo doesn't. At the end of the day, they just don't have that. I mean, it's not like a I mean, if you judge that 1-to-1, but we're not judging that 1-to-1. That's not reality. Reality is you have what you have. And I think right now, them having the portability and everything gives them that extra kick, gives them that, like, okay, there's not a lot of games, but I love my Switch, and I do love my Switch. I absolutely love the fact that I can, like, go play Animal Crossing on the couch and do things like that. It's such a new, crazy experience. But I feel like that's only going to carry you so far until, I'm already getting to the point. I bet you my Switch is barely going to get playtime this year, and I think there's going to be other people like that too. I just just in a long enough timeline of this, like, I just don't think Nintendo can afford 2020 and what I think 2021 is going to be all the time. Like, they can't have a good year every 4 years, so it's just like not going to be. It's just not enough, And we need to stop. I need to go study for this test and everything. But this is another, I think the nail in the coffin of what the directs were, because I think we've just had too many times in a row now where it's like, the direct is just not what like we talk about, like, oh yeah, directs always have like these big, like they're always like these like big things that we all come together for. It's like now it's like directs are kind of falling into that Ubisoft forward type of whatever, where it's like, no, most of them are kind of like it's like every now and then there'll be a good one. You can't tell when a good one's coming or when it's a bad one. It's just like every now and then there's a good one. It's not really any fault. It's not something they did good. It's just like they happen to have enough stuff. But it's like I respect it more if you like don't do it when you don't have enough, which is why I thought this was going to be a lot better, because they hadn't had one for so long.
Oh no, that's fair. That's something we could definitely discuss more, but there's no point in doing it because they're like you would expect a lot more from this, and I think that's reasonable. But when I was getting to my point probably like 10 minutes ago at this point, mentioning like as far as their lineup for this year and why it's definitely I think worrying is the fact they closed on Splatoon 3. Not necessarily because it's Splatoon 3, but because it's a 2022 game.
Right.
And you would think if they were going to pick a game that's outside of their first half of 2021, it was going to be something that would probably come out this year.
Like, why would you pick the 2022 Splatoon 3 that you can't really even show that much of if you were sitting on something big in the later half of this year? I don't really see why you would. If you did have that big game this year, like you said, that would be your one more thing, and you would just save the Splatoon 3 announcement for later. You know?
Like summer.
Yeah. So I agree with you. That's why I think 2021 is going to be pretty.
Like,
I think there might be they might hang their entire business on a Pokemon Gen, whatever the hell.
Because something just because it's like so out of my mind, I just didn't mention, like I didn't expect the Pokemon thing, obviously, because I think we're getting all that in the next like week or two.
Yeah, I think that's going to be that's going to be their thing this year. They're going to have one thing.
They're going to have more. I'm not saying there's going to be anything like big and spectacular necessarily that gets everyone like a Breath of the Wild or Odyssey 2. I mean, I think there's still a chance Breath of the Wild 2 could come this year. I do agree with you that my thought of that potentially happening has gone down from the start of this thing. I think there's still a chance.
Yeah, I disagree. I really disagree at this point, but it could happen. I mean, I guess I suppose there's a chance, but like if we get ready for Nintendo events and anyone is like predicting Breath of the Wild, I'm going to be like, no, stop. Like, cease this.
No, I agree with you on that. Yeah, not something I'm going to be predicting. No. Well, okay. Well,
not until the fall. Not until the fall for next year.
Actually, no, man. I'm going to change that. Like, if we get the summer, I could see it being there.
But at least not announced for the year. For this year, yeah.
That's a whole separate thing.
Yeah.
I think any one of these things we could see it. It'll just be if it comes this year, it's going to be the kicker. Which, who knows at this point? I mean, I feel like they're at least going to have something, even if something like Paper Mario level at some point.
All right, guys, that was the Nintendo Direct lively discussion. I very much enjoyed that discussion, and I would love to have it for more, but I need to go do work. So thank you, guys. No podcast this week, but that was basically a podcast. That was good.
Yeah, might try to throw together a quick Overwatch video if something actually happens with that.
Big if.
Big if.
All right, peace.